to weigh in on the DEQ's proposed heavy metals rules.
The DEQ had allowed people these past 2 weeks to give their input on possible rule changes. So the question now is what's next? Our Tim Becker joins us live with the answer. Tim?
Both the Ouroboros and Bullseye Glass companies are going to be affected by the new rules, and they're hoping that the latest public input is going to help the DEQ answer some of the many questions that was asked at their rules meeting 2 weeks ago.
Unfortunately, working with DEQ has not served us or the community well.
Bullseye Glass owner Dan Schwerer says he will abide by whatever rules the DEQ eventually puts in place. The agency initially proposed requiring both glass companies to install filters on furnaces that use arsenic, cadmium, chromium, and nickel.
We're hoping to test drive it next week.
Schwerer showed me his pilot filter near completion, but it'll still be months before his entire outfit can resume full production based on the DEQ's new rules. While they wait for the proposed change, it could cost his company millions in sales.
And it's hurt because we can't make, at least 50% of our pallet.
The DEQ tells me it'll now take the next 3 weeks to consider the suggestions, seeking solutions that work better for all parties, and that some of the comments may provide DEQ with additional information to consider incorporating into the rules. And as the city waits,
the principle that we ought to have an effective environmental regulator, making sure that the city that we think is green actually is something that I think there's huge agreement for.
Some wonder if a local environmental regulator could offer more effective solutions, asking City Council to consider it.
Portland's air, it turns out, is filled with toxic hotspots. Moving forward out of this morass would require thoughtful reductions in pollution.
Sadly, Oregon is at least 30 plus years behind the state of New Jersey in identifying, managing hazardous air pollutants.
That discussion taking place this morning at City Hall because, frankly, a lot of people right now believing the DEQ simply is not getting the job done. Their next meeting is April 20th, and we're going to follow up then and let you know what kind of new rules they've come up with. Live in Southeast Portland, Tim Becker, KOIN 6 News.
And, of course, Tim, you're the only local reporter who's actually sat down with the owners of both those glass companies and talked with them in interviews. Now, if you have